Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another installment in our No Buff Rift Clear series. Today we are returning after the break that we took last week as we uploaded the most recent world record speedrun that I have claimed. And the rift that we will be conquering today is a very interesting concept. I actually really like the challenges that work this way in particular because it really tests your spatial awareness and the awareness of how the other members of your team are doing. Of course, this is the level 21 survival rift where the end goal is to defeat Elektra, and the combat is actually identical to the way that she appears in the main story quest, which is quite fun, but there are a couple of quirks and gimmicks with it that we'll discuss in just a moment. But as you can see, in order to play this specific mission, we do need to find this mission while playing through the campaign, and the hint for this one is in that garden area, which is not super intuitive, but it makes a little bit more sense once you know where to look for it. Basically, after you get to the Xavier Institute and you take out the initial sentinels at the front of the mansion, you'll loop back around to meet up with Beast and the Blackbird that's landed down on the basketball court. But before taking a right and continuing through to the next part of the campaign, you'll want to hang a left over to the clearing that houses the rift. Interacting with it, you can jump right into that mission at that specific juncture, or you can just interact with it here and then go back and play through it afterwards. Is all you really have to do is find where it is and interact with it in order to unlock it from the Infinity Rift screen. So despite the fact that the combat is identical to how you find Elektra in the story quest, the gimmick with this fight is your HP will slowly drain for all members of your team over the course of the fight, but you can heal based off of dealing damage to your opponents, and that is really one of the biggest key things to go after there. And that's from any type of attack damage, whether it be a super powerful extreme attack, or if it's just standard attacks or ability and synergy type attacks with the remainder of your team. It essentially works the same way as the curse that was added with the Curse of the Vampire, but it's just for one specific mission instead of the entirety of the campaign or sub-area there. So in order to get the full rewards from this particular mission, you will need to get through it ideally without having any members of your team go down, and if you were to have a team member go down, you wouldn't be incapable of reviving them because of the way that this in particular mission works. And if you're able to get through it without losing any members of your team, then you do have the 3 stars right off the bat. There is a little bit of leeway for the second star where you can have up to 2 members of your team go down and still partially get the rewards. But the biggest trick here is you'll want to keep one eye or continue to glance down towards the bottom left corner of the screen where your team readout is located. And if you do see a team member that is not doing super great and losing a lot of health, you'll want to switch over to them and then layer into the opponents that are in the nearby area to help bolster their health back up. Ideally, when you switch over, if you use a synergy attack or even just a standalone ability, you're going to get a lot more damage than you're going to deal a lot more damage and heal back a lot more than you would just by using standard attacks, but you tend to be a little bit more proficient when you are in control of the character as opposed to the AI taking the wheel and using the characters that are on the rest of your team. But as you can see, the biggest thing that you need to do is just focus down the initial hand mystics and then pivot over to Elektra once she is in that vulnerability state, and you'll be fine. You'll be able to get through the fight very easily after that point. So really those are the biggest things that you just need to be cautious and aware of when going into this section of combat. And as long as you're able to do so, you can do that even with a really low level team. This is fairly easy to pull off, and you don't have any time constraints either. You'll just have to efficiently make your way through the fight, because if you take out too many of the grunts, then you're not going to be able to heal back the members of your team, and then their life is just going to slowly drain away over the course of the combat. But if you enjoyed today's video, make sure that you leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe for that daily variety content. Thanks again for watching, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day.